Good afternoon, Hugh.
Hey, good afternoon, Sherman. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're actually in the morning here in the beautiful Okanagan, and I know you're in Europe, and I thought I would bring you my little Canadian Christmas tree here. That just shows you how much snow we have in Canada.
Yeah, I heard that Vancouver got hammered pretty bad.
Yeah, we really did. It's pretty cold. It's like -30, but we got nice clear skies now and no more snow. So I think we're gonna have a very white, cold Christmas, but it's actually supposed to warm up on the weekend. And yeah, it's a great chance to get a bit of an update. You had some great news out this morning with Northern Graphite. This is probably going to be our last video for 2022, and what a great chance. I'm here with Hugh Jackman from Northern Graphite, kind of do a year-end wrap up, I guess, with you guys have done a remarkable job in terms of executing the strategy. And one of the best conferences I went to was with Hugh when I went to the conference in Los Angeles, the Benchmark Mineral Giga Battery Metals event. And it really built the awareness in my own mind as to, obviously this electrification is going to be a massive thing. And none of this happens without some very strategic metals that dominate the periodic tables. And of course, one of them is graphite. So congratulations on the news this morning, and Merry Christmas to your whole team. And it's so satisfying to see your Christmas wishes coming over the wire from Namibia and from Northern Canada. And you guys are building a hell of a business.
It's been a very exciting year for us, and even since we met in Los Angeles at the conference, a lot of things have been going on. We've been very focused on executing the strategy. As you said, this morning we announced our agreement with Graphite to jointly work together so that, we can take our graphite from our mines and use their technology and their know-how, and together, transform the graphite for use in lithium-ion batteries. And, what's really significant about that news is just the speed that it's going to give us, in our execution. We really are focused on delivering a solution to the battery makers as quickly as possible with our Northern Graphite products from Canada and from Namibia. And by working with Graphite, we can do that much quicker because they're already in production. They've got a facility in China that's producing 10,000 tons of anode material using graphite. And by working with them, we can take all of their expertise, know-how, and their facilities in China and start building graphite products for batteries immediately. And so, it's really going to accelerate our strategy and the execution of our strategy. And I'm really excited. And the graphics guys are great, and they're really straightforward and they move fast, just like us. We're very similar in terms of how we approach this market. And that's what we need. We need to get out there quickly. We need to create a North American supply chain so that the battery makers can benefit from, all the legislation that's coming into play, the IRA, the Title III, and so on and so on. And that's what it enables us to do. Now, like always, is we need to execute.
Well, and I think that's a very great summary. I mean, when I was in LA, it was that you could sense that, yeah, we've got some very good producers, well, Northern Graphite being one of the only producers in North America, but you've got, a lot of people developing graphite properties or lithium properties, but you've also got this, how do you get it to the end user? And so that creating that North American supply chain, I just knew it was going to happen. I didn't know who or with who, but, clearly you guys have attracted the attention. I've said to a few people, I was I don't know, I felt like Northern Graphite was like a hot date when I went to LA because there was so much interest in, which would make sense. I mean, you've got one of the only producers in North America, soon to be one of the largest outside of China. It just makes sense that someone would come, you know, and do an alliance with you. So congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, we are not one of the only producer. We're the only producer.
Yes.
But, you know, everybody else has great projects, but they're at least 2 or 3 years away from being in production. So, you know, what this deal with Graphics does, it basically, you know, takes our current production and puts it straight into the battery by leveraging their assets. And it allows us to start building those assets now. So, you know, we're gonna get a couple year head start over anybody else. And in this business, you know, the quicker you're in, the better it is. So it's all about execution and speed of execution. You know, there's a sense of urgency in the industry that's that is second to none. And that's why we did the deal with Imerys, you know, very similar. I mean, we were one of those junior companies that was going to the conferences, selling our Biscuit Creek project and trying to raise money for it. And by doing the Imerys deal, by putting the operations that we have put together, by doing the alliance with Graphics, you know, within the 6 months period, we did all of that within the 6 months period. We're now front of the line. We're ahead of everybody else. And we're not talking about projects anymore. We're talking about real world products that we want to sell to battery makers. And we continue to talk to them so that we can qualify our material and be ready in 2025 when they start their productions line in North America. But, you know, battery is only part of the story. We're doing this all over the place. We're talking to the graphite foil makers. We're talking to the refractory makers. We're making deals, you know, they're interested in talking to us about volume out of our Namibian operations for Europe. I mean, things have been very hectic, and we're very pleased to where we are today. And I think 2023 is going to be a fantastic year for us.
I totally agree.
The only thing I'm disappointed by is my share price.
Yeah.
So we're just not getting recognized by the market. You know, we have such a great story, and the market's not recognizing the story. So we need to keep telling the story and convincing people that this is the stock they have to invest in, you know.
Well, and I think that's the theme. And we've got this, you know, amazing opportunity for investors to participate in electrification, which is something that we're going to actually, you know, this transformation of transportation just changes everything. And it's a remarkable opportunity. Investors can participate by buying shares in Northern Graphite. And, you know, as you know, because, you know, we kind of kept you posted, we had a very strategic investor came in. You know, if we look back on the chart, you know, and I helped sort of organize that, you know, a purchase of 1.3 million shares of Northern Graphite. And, you know, I just continue to beat the drum, you know, for investors. You can buy Northern Graphite in your RSP and your tax-free savings account in Canada. And I think, you know, we're literally, you're getting in the front of the electric bus. You know, we've got a front seat in Northern Graphite through all these initiatives with Imerys and Graphics and keeping a strong treasury. I think it's a remarkable investment. So I really think, Hugues, that you're going to see investors really warm up to this in 2023. It's, you know, we're kind of a quieter market right now, but, you know, you do have strategic buyers buying the stock, which is, they're just getting a really good price.
They're getting a good deal, that's for sure. But, you know, I mean, thank you so much for all your support, you know, for the last years, really, because, I mean, you've been at this since the beginning, right? So you and your teams and your clients, you know, have really been big supporters of our company, and we appreciate that. So thank you very much. And we're going to do great things together. I'm convinced of that. And, you know, it's only a question of time when people realize, you know, how good of an opportunity it is. And I'm not concerned at all. I'm just disappointed, you know, because it's nice to be recognized.
Well, and I think you're doing all the right things, and you know that you're 100% right. It's the job of the CEO and the marketing, you know, guys, and you know, which I'm, you know, part of that team is you know, especially when a stock is undervalued, it's our job to go out there and, I mean, ultimately, you know, one of the purposes of the stock market is to be able to exchange shares, you know, between, you know, some shareholders leave and some new ones come in. I mean, obviously you want a core of those long-term holders, but it's nice when the stock is trading closer to the intrinsic value. It is a little bit always a challenge for investors to value, you know, exploration companies that, you know, and especially when it's not 100% clear what things will look like in 5 to 10 years. But here's the trick, is when you can buy something at such a low market cap relative to the assets and relative to the strategy, you've got a huge, in my view, there's a huge margin of safety to buy Northern Graphite right now at this stock price. You know, with the kind of management that's in place, the share structure's very good. You know, we've got a good balance sheet and we've got multiple irons in the fire. So I think all we have to do is say Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, in 2023 is going to be a great year. We got so many things cooking in the oven, you know, and we're just going to dish them out one at a time. And we've got a great team. Everybody is super engaged. Everybody is committed. We've extended a lot of our options to a lot of our employees because we want everybody to be in the game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to take a little bit of time off, just a couple of days, and then we'll be back at it, and we'll be kicking ass.
Yeah, sounds good. You know, I really look forward to seeing you in January in Vancouver.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, yeah, there's huge opportunities for investors, not, you know, right across all the metals. You know, I think it's really going to be the revenge of the miners, and you know, people are going to be really attracted to real assets, because I think we're going to, I mean, we look at what the Fed's doing with the, you know, the rising of interest rates, and you're going to have to pick strategic investments run by very good people to do well in 2023, and to be able to buy stocks at 50 cents that could be, you know, 5-10 baggers. I mean, that window of opportunity is there right now because of electrification and in these massive changes that are coming. So thanks so much again, Hugues, for taking the time, and you know, what a great way to end 2022, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and to all your clients and your listeners. Thank you for supporting us, and we look forward to doing great things together in 2023.
Right on. Thanks, Hugues.
Take care.